This is Dan Wowak with Cold Cracker Bushcraft. Today I wanted to just do a quick video talking about a piece of gear that I have. And that piece of gear is this oilskin watch coat. And this oilskin watch coat you can purchase at tent smiths. And it's basically just oilskin cut into an oversized coat that can protect you from wind and rain. Now I've had this coat for about 3 years now, and I haven't had too many complaints with it overall. But today I wanted to show you 2 modifications that I had done to this to make it even better than it originally was. The first modification that I made maybe 2 years ago was, this is just an open style coat. It's cut right down the front, just like this, okay? So you just wrap it around yourself. I usually use a piece of twine, or if I have my ring belt on, anything like that. And then I can keep my knife on the outside of me if I'm going to be doing a lot of work. If I need to protect it, of course, I can keep it underneath. But it just offers some versatility using it like this. But what I noticed was when I started working and doing a lot, if I'm not just sitting around, this tends to open up like this. So that was one thing I didn't like, especially in the rain. You start to get real wet through here because that rain might be pounding down on you. So all that I did was I took just a piece of string and a button, just like this. Piece of string, and I have my button over here. And the button seems a little far, but you can actually take this just like that, okay? And what that does is that locks that top piece in place, and it doesn't allow it to open up, keeping you more protected from the elements. So that was the first modification, and that helped out tremendously. The second thing that I just had done recently that it bothered me from when I first got the coat, it was the only downfall I ever found with it, was I had to wear a big wide brim hat, because if I didn't, the rain would hit around my collar area and wick into my shirt, and my shoulders would always get wet. My shoulders, my back, especially if I'm bent over a lot, that rain would go right down on my back and I'd end up wet. So what I ended up doing was I talked to my aunt, Barbara Greach, who is a seamstress and a terrific sewer, and I gave her some more oilskin material, and she made me a hood. So this hood now keeps me protected from the elements getting around my back. I don't have to have that wide brim hat. And I do wear wide brim hats at times, but for the most part I usually just wear a hat or a headband, something like that when I'm out. So this is gonna mend much better to that. She put a leather drawstring in for me so I can tighten this up if I need to. It's a little bit oversized, so I can flip it back like this if I'm moving around and I need to get it out of my face, or I can open it up, pull it down, hunker by a tree if I would need to do that. So this is the new modification. It absolutely works out perfect, and it's a lot better than the traditional watch coat. Now I can't fault it too much because the traditional watch coat didn't have a hood. And from the research and readings I've done, hoods really were not a huge thing back in that long hunter era. When we started getting into more of the trapping era, you started to see hoods with the trappers going out west on their tours and things like that. But the long hunters, you don't see too many hoods. So this design was from that period. So adding this hood just brought it up to speed a little bit for my needs. Adding the button and the hood just made this thing absolutely that much better. So that's just a quick tip for 2 modifications you can make for your watch coat if you have one, to make it much better than it already is. This was Dan Wowak with Cold Cracker Bushcraft. I hope you enjoyed this quick video on my oilskin watch coat modification. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks, guys.